seen anything like that.
No good. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
It's the Davey Max Sports Program, where we talk the sports and other stuff, like grapes. Not only are grapes a delicious food, but they fit perfectly up your ass in a pinch. If you have any uncut diamonds, put them in grapes and stick those grapes straight up your ass. Then you can smuggle that ice on an airplane. Trust me, I've got 10 diamond grapes in my butts as we speak. I'm Bobby Tamburo, and here's your host, Eastside Dave McDonald.
Wow! Thank you so much for that introduction, Robert. Unbelievable. Roy Harder is not here with us, so Robert is. And what an introduction. He was all kinds of insane over there, but it was a tip. It was a tip in case people need to make some extra cash during the pandemic, during the inflation, during the economic crisis. Some people are resorting to, do other jobs, including smuggling diamonds. I think that's a perfectly good and acceptable piece of advice that Robert has given us. But listen, that is not the story here. What the story is, it's the Davey Max Sports Program. I'm Eastside Dave McDonald. We've got Bobby Tamburo into his house. And today, a very special episode. Every once in a while, I love showing off and I love talking to my attorney at law. Put it up for the greatest lawyer in New Jersey, Neil Unger.
Thank you, Dave.
Neil, it's great to talk to you, my lawyer. As always, we have tried so many lawsuits throughout the years. One of them will strike gold for us eventually. One of them.
Odds are, Dave.
I've sued Pete Holmes. I tried to sue him for stealing the Office Blanca sketch and putting it on MTV. What we weren't allowed to get we couldn't get money for that. We sued Bill Simmons for stealing my Eastside David Son wrestling podcast idea. He now does a wrestling podcast with his son. We got to sue him. I've sued Chris Jericho for the list of Jericho, which was clearly, the Shizer list came first, and then that happens. I mean, every time we always beat everyone to the punch. And Neil and I are so happy, but Neil, we still have yet to hit that big time payday. But I'm hoping one of these days that will, in fact, happen. You're still a practicing lawyer, right, Neil? You haven't gotten up hard yet?
Dave. I'm practicing full-time, personal injury, medical malpractice, criminal and employment law.
I love that. And you are a sports guy. So not only are we going to be talking about lots of mysterious things and controversial things, we're going to be talking the sports, and we're going to be having very interesting time. Neil, what kind of fan are you? What are your sports teams? Just so the Davey Max Sports Program audience understands who attorney at law Neil Unger is.
Dave, I would have to say the Mets, the New York Mets.
Oh, no.
The New York Jets.
Oh.
Ooh.
The Knicks.
Ooh, good, Neil. And that's it? Those three?
The Rangers.
And the Rangers. Oh, Neil. I don't know if you're aware, the Rangers were just eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. They had a 2-0 lead. In Game 3, they were up 2-0. They choked that game away, and then they choked the entire goddamn series away. And I don't know if you saw, but there was a Rangers fan who's now getting jailed for some viral video where he punched a Lightning fan in the hallway of Madison Square Garden. And the guy's getting potential, homicide or some shit like this. I mean, Neil, Ranger fans, what's the deal? You? Do you advocate beating up people when your team loses?
That's against the law, Dave. I support professional behavior. That guy clearly is engaged in a violent crime. I'm absolutely against violent action.
All right.
And he
'Cause
should be prosecuted for that.
I saw that happen. Bobby, did you see that happen?
I did not. But what would be the line? Like, Neil, would he, let's say the Tampa Bay fan, as they're known to do, was, I don't know, shaking a baby or trying to kidnap somebody. Would he be allowed to intervene then?
Could he punch him?
If he was trying to kidnap a baby or something ridiculous like that, and then the intervention would be justified. Could he punch him? That depends, but he could certainly chase him down, call law enforcement on site.
Fair enough, but I will point
apprehend
out,
him personally. You can attempt to apprehend the person personally, but if he has a baby, the baby might get hurt. So it's complicated.
And I will point out that the Lightning fan did not have a baby. It was holding a beer, not a baby.
Big can't difference. Do that.
Yeah, big difference. They both start with a B, Robert.
But they stopped selling after the second period, Dave. He wasn't supposed to have that beer.
Or baby.
They
stopped selling babies at intermission as well, by the way.
Do you have to yell citizens arrest when you intervene?
Yes.
You know what, Neil? This actually brings me to something because I do enjoy, because I get confused myself on what is legal or illegal. And it's a discussion I enjoy talking to you about each and every time you make an appearance on the Davey Mac Sports program, on any number of my shows, because I always have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of plans, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do them. So you mind if we play Neil Unger's Is It Legal or Illegal?
No problem, Dave.
Okay.
I'd love to.
All right. So, Neil, Roy is having an issue. I know he's not here tonight, but he's having an issue. And he asked me to ask you about this. He claims that there is and these are not my words, these are Roy's. He claims there's a Mexican man who is rummaging around his garbage cans in the wee hours of the night. Roy wants to know if he can use his rifle and go out to his driveway and shoot the man. Again, this is Roy's question, not mine. And I'm not sure why he needed to add in what nationality the person was, but that's Roy's words verbatim.
Dave, in New York or New Jersey, you cannot do that. That is illegal. And you would get prosecuted for some sort of manslaughter or homicide crime for that.
But the guy's on his property.
If he died.
But the guy is on Roy's property, and he's rummaging through his garbage cans.
But there's no danger to Roy. Roy is not Roy doesn't have a reasonable expectation of bodily harm.
Well, what if the guy's going to take out like a plastic bag from his garbage and put it over Roy's head, and then Roy can't breathe?
Dave, Roy might like that.
That's a good point. He's like that guy from In Excess. He's like Michael Hutchins. Roy's fucking weirdo. He has his nipples pierced. The guy's 63 years old. He's got both nipples pierced.
Uh-oh.
You aware of this? Yeah. That's a true story.
That's a Michael Hutchins thing, it sounds like.
That's who it is. Robert. Sometimes, people aren't nice to Robert, and I like to make sure that Robert is having a nice day. Despite the rocky beginning to this program, I always want Robert to have a very nice, pleasant life. If someone is fucking with Robert, this is a non-specific person, okay? This is a total hypothetical. Someone's messing with Robert.
Like, say, just a Lightning fan from Tampa Bay who I ran into after the Rangers game.
Tampa Bay Lightning fan. He's upsetting Robert. Is Robert allowed to kick the guy in the stomach? Not kill. Well, I'm not saying murder. Can Robert just kick the person in the stomach really hard if they're fucking with him?
Well, it's illegal to to do anything violent towards anybody else, unless you're met with similar violence. So if the person gets up in your face and curses at you, you can't hit them.
Cannot?
Cannot.
Some guy can try into Robert's face, and he's like, "Fuck you."
No, he'd have to hit you. He would have to hit you for you to be justified to hit him.
See, this is why we need this segment, legal or illegal, with attorney at law Neil Unger, because I gotta tell you, I'm 0 for 2.
Real quick,
Roy had carte blanche to blast that Mexican's fucking head off.
Unrelated, Neil, do you handle civil cases?
I do.
Okay, I'll talk to you after the show.
After the show with that one. Neil, I started a podcast that's Star Wars centric. It's called Yaddle Chattel. Now, ever since Yaddle Chattel has skyrocketed to the top of the Star Wars podcast charts, now I see every, Han, Leia, and Luke online talking about Yaddle, a very obscure character. She was the female Yoda from episode 1 of Phantom Menace, the only movie she appeared. Exactly. She sounded like that. She's a female Yoda.
Is she single?
So I've been talking about Yaddle so much, and I named the show after Yaddle, and now everyone's talking about Yaddle. Can I sue these people for copying my shit?
Did you copyright it, Dave?
No, George Lucas created the character, Neil. What am I supposed to do?
Well, George just hired me to talk to you about that.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's just go into the next topic then, because when you bring up George Lucas and lawsuits, my butthole hurts. My butthole turns fucking grapes into diamonds. Gets that tight. Neil, let's say I go into a 7-Eleven. They don't have Coke or Cherry Slurpee, my two favorites. In fact, I like to mash them up and make a Cherry Coke Slurpee. Am I allowed to then pour the watermelon or pineapple Slurpee that they have, in the Coke and Cherry's place? Could I pour the watermelon Slurpee in a cup and then throw it at the cashier's face? Out of disappointment for not having the proper Slurpee flavors available.
Is there a better way to handle that, Dave? Maybe we can have a little discussion with them rather than assaulting them by throwing a cold Slurpee in their face?
Well, assault, Neil. I'm just throwing watermelon Slurpee at the guy. That's all I'm doing. That's assault?
That's assault, David.
Shit, I gotta cross that one. Robert, cross that one off the list. Jesus Christ, I'm 0 for 4 here. All right, Neil. I use a public pool. Someone left a watch at the pool. Here's my point. I want to take it and sell it under the classic American law, finders keepers. Can I?
That's somewhat complicated. How many people are at the pool? Did you see somebody wearing the watch, or did you know?
I saw no one wearing the watch.
And it's a
I
public
went to the
pool.
pool by myself, and I set up my towel, and all of a sudden I look at one of the chairs, and there's a watch right there. And it was a good watch. And I could sell it under the American law, finders keepers.
There is no actual law, American law, finders keepers, Dave. The right thing to do morally would be to see if anybody turned in a claim that they lost their watch. But technically, if it was a public pool that hundreds and hundreds of people went to and nobody reported the watch as lost, I would think you'd be able to keep it.
All right, cool.
At some point.
All right. Robert, put that watch on eBay. Remember the watch pictures I sent you?
The digital one?
Yeah.
I'm all over it, Dave, man.
Thank you. Neil, Roy's not here because he's on some weird, I'm not saying this. Other people say this. He's on some Brokeback Mountain adventure with a friend of his. He's hiking in West Virginia on the Appalachian Trail.
Deliverance. Do you have
Deliverance? He's having a deliverance moment on the Appalachian Trail. All right, so now you know where I'm going with this. Let's say the friend wants to pull a Ned Beatty on him, the part, and Roy is going to be the victim. Is Roy allowed to throw that guy off a cliff on the trail?
Oh, that's really tough, Dave.
Hey, we got him. We got you.
Under certain circumstances, probably yes.
All right, I am going to be texting Roy Harder. Hold on. Roy,
Get rid of that guy.
commit murder today. Neil, here's the deal. This one I feel like I got. You know those McDonald's with the someone gets a coffee and then they sue McDonald's for like $1 million? Okay, here's something that I had. The other day, I'm watching, I'm smoking some weed and I'm eating Sour Patch Kids and I eat one box after another. Okay, I bought like 12 boxes at Costco. And I'm binge watching Stranger Things. Next thing you know, all in one afternoon, about an hour and a half, in fact, I ate 12 boxes of Sour Patch Kids, had the worst stomach ache I've ever had in my fucking life. Can I sue? Sour Patch Kids, I mean. Can I sue them?
That was self-inflicted, Dave, so you can't.
Jesus fucking.
Your stomach ache was self-inflicted.
All right,
Nobody else's carelessness caused that.
Okay, Neil, let's say Robert doesn't like, Robert loves, let's take Robert out of this hypothetical. Let's say someone doesn't like working at their sporting goods store. Are you allowed to blow it up? Especially if your bosses are mean to you.
If they're mean, I would think it would be okay. If they're mean.
Like,
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh. But what if they're constantly making you like? What if they're always, clean up the basketball section, clean up the do this, do that with the footballs, clean the footballs off.
If that was okay, everybody would blow up their supervisor or their boss's place, right?
I know I would. You're
What
damn
about
right
the
about
bathroom,
that.
Neil? Can I blow up the bathroom?
Bobby, you do that already. Come on.
Whoa! Similar issue. This one's more for me. If your boss is bothering you, hypothetically, could anyone nail a dead squirrel to their front door?
Dave, I think we all want to do that in that situation.
Right.
But don't get caught.
Okay. So Neil, legal-ish. All right, legal or illegal?
No, that's illegal. That's illegal. It's illegal.
And finally, Neil, the other day, I got to tell you, this is true story. I almost got hit by lightning the other day. Can I sue God or Al Roker? One of the two.
God has more money than Al, probably.
Yeah. So?
No.
No.
Can't sue anybody.
Can't sue anybody. Can't sue Al Roker. He said it was going to be.
Al Roker.
He said it was going to be drizzling. Said nothing about lightning.
He doesn't owe you any duty of care.
Well, why am I fucking watching him then, Neil? All right, that's legal or illegal with Neil Unger, and I think we learned a lot today, Robert.
I would agree. I got to go remove something from a certain Dick's Sporting Goods store.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of work. We have a lot of cleanup to do.
Yeah,
we had a lot of plans, a lot of nefarious plans in the works. And pretty much, I think only Roy's allowed to get, away with murder. The rest of us, we're totally shut out by Neil Unger.
It does seem like Appalachia allows more leeway when it comes to legal things, Dave.
Okay, look, the Yankees, Neil, I don't know about you, but baseball's killing me with all these streaming services. I figured out that it's at least 7 destinations to watch a Yankees game. The Yes Network, TBS, MLB Network, ESPN, Fox, Peacock, Amazon Prime, and fucking Apple. That's actually 8. There's 8 destinations to watch the Yankees. Meanwhile, my 82-year-old mother, come on, she got a snowball's chance in hell of figuring this shit out. And why this is bothering me is because the Yankees are on fire, Neil. I know you're a Mets fan, but the Yankees are 44-16, Neil. 44-16, Daddy. They just got Matt Carpenter, longtime player for the St. Louis Cardinals all those years ago. He was out of baseball his last 2 years. He's hit 6 home runs in his first 10 games as a New York Yankee. Never been done before. You got Aaron Judge, MVP, and almost their entire starting rotation could be on the All-Star team. Neil Unger, I know you're a Mets fan, and they're playing well. I believe they're 20 games over 500, in fact. But do you really think the Mets are the kings of New York baseball this year?
I think it's a little early, Dave. I would agree to make that determination. Do you think that Aaron Judge has a shot at beating Roger Maris's home run record?
Yes, I do. Aaron Judge has 24 home runs, and we are not even at the All-Star break. I mean, honestly, if you can get to, say, 30 home runs by, let's say, July 4th, yes, you're going to have a legitimate chance to get that number. And yeah, I mean, he's 6 away from getting to 30 home runs. It's June, as we record this, it's June 13th, 24 dingers. Okay. Come on, Daddy. Yes, he has a chance. It's not locked in. He would still need to stay hot. But what's amazing to me is Judge is, hitting 315 and all this crap in addition to the home runs. Robert?
Dave, are you saying that right now he's just – never mind, my ad fucked up my sound effects. Sorry, Dave. Are you saying he is –
Yes.
just a bit outside? That's
just
of the record. It really wasn't worth it. I'm sorry I made you guys wait for it.
That's fine. I enjoyed it.
Hopefully Roy doesn't face any criminal charges in Appalachia. Otherwise, this whole program is going to be off the rails by next week.
Roy will be back next Tuesday, and Robert, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Do you think Garrett Cole will make it through the season without being suspended?
Yes, without being suspended. Why would he get suspended?
Well, last year during the height
of
the Spider Tack investigation, Bauer seemed to have a bullseye on him.
Yeah, but that Spider Tack issue is that's not an issue this year. That was for last year. Maybe he would have gotten suspended, but this year, I think the Spider Tack is more of a thing of the past. Really, your question is, there are the people who think that Garrett Cole was only good because of Spider Tack. That's not my opinion. Listen, Spider Tack doesn't help you throw 99 miles an hour. It just doesn't. You have to have that.
It's just a shame he got caught up in this whole sticky situation.
Neil. So I think that the Yankees are on their way. I really do. In fact, I'm getting very close to guaranteeing a Yankees championship this year. Very close. Now, you're a Mets fan. Will the Mets be making the playoffs? Do you think the Mets will be making the World Series this year? How good are the Mets? Are they the best team in the National League? Neil Unger, attorney at law.
Well, Dave, again, it's a little early, but if they keep up that early momentum, I think they would win the National League championship.
Whoa.
They can keep it up.
Those Dodgers are very good. And
very good.
In years past, Mets, Dodgers, a little bit of a rivalry there, 88. Dodgers knocked the Mets out of the NLCS there. It's happened before. Okay, fair enough.
The Phillies are playing a little better, but
Phillies are playing better. Robert, did you see that? They fired Joe Girardi and instantly went on a 9-game winning streak after firing Joe Girardi. I'm not sure Girardi's ever getting another managing job again.
No, and I mean, honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world he got fired. He wasn't a great manager. He was for the Yankees, okay, not great, I would say, and then for the Phillies, he wasn't doing much. It does go just to my overall thesis, though, that Bryce Harper is a petty little girl because he balled out the minute they got rid of Girardi.
He did. He did. He clearly didn't like Girardi. But here's the one thing I will say is that Girardi is not well liked. He was not well liked by the Yankees. That's why they made the move to Boone, and get a guy who like the players actually like. Girardi is sort of hated by his players wherever he goes. So this one is a bad one, though. This is a bad firing for Girardi.
And did Girardi ever hit a home run off of Tim Wakefield in Game 7 to carry his team through? No. It's just a different element of player, and I think that's what it's best illustrated. That in that clutch moment, Boone was able to hit a home run. He's able to know baseball.
No, yeah. And that moment is obviously when you hit a home run in extra innings of Game 7 of the ALCS to knock off your rival, the Boston Red Sox, to go to World Series. That's always going to be a bigger home run. I will say Girardi, Game 6, Yankees-Braves, 1996 World Series with the Yanks down 2-0 and the bases loaded. Girardi did have a 3-run triple, which gave the Yankees the lead, and they never looked back, won the game, and then won the series after winning the game. But that's not even like, if you're going to say Boone's up here with his shot and Girardi's 3-run triple is down here, even though one's in the World Series, Boone's is more historic. It's a bigger legacy.
Is there a better metaphor for their series? Is there a better metaphor for their two management styles than the fact that one guy hit a triple and the other one hit a home run. Like, I feel like that's the perfect emphasis of Girardi. No flash, no flair, no nothing. You know, Boone's going to get tossed out every third game. He's going to go yell at Angel Hernandez and get his money's worth. I'm happy he's gone. You know,
right.
Good riddance. I would have personally found someone young and flashy, but the interim coach will do well, and hopefully they can make a little run, you know.
It's just an interim coach. There's another topic that I'm pretty interested in, and I'm also interested to hear what you have to hear say, Neil. It's coming from a legality standpoint, because there's a legal issue right now, and it's a huge, huge scandal in the world of golf, where right now there is a golf league that is trying to get started in Saudi Arabia called LIV. It's the LIV Golf Tour. And to give you an understanding of why some of these pros are going there, Forbes added up that Tiger Woods, in his entire career, through just simply winning golf tournaments, has made $120 million in total earnings and winnings from winning golf tournament. And the Saudi Arabia League, right off the bat, without winning anything, offered former number one in the world, Dustin Johnson, $150 million. And they offered Phil Mickelson $200 million just to join the tour. So now, obviously, they want to take their money, but they also want to play the U.S. Open and the Masters and the big American majors. Recently, PGA Tour said, nope, anyone who does LIV is suspended and they cannot compete in the Masters, the U.S. Open, British Open, or PGA Championship, even though they kind of have a right. Mickelson, as a former winner, is supposed to get a lifetime invitation to these major championships. Neil, what do you think? Now, by the way, the golfers are appealing, but it sounds like a sticky issue. I guess my first question is, do you think that PGA Tour has the right to suspend these guys? Because some of these guys are straight up pissed, and they're saying it's not legal what the PGA Tour has done to us. What do you think about this?
Dave, if they didn't sign any documents to be a member of the Professional Golf Association that limits their participation in non-PGA play, I would think that it's absolutely wrong to suspend them for capitalism, trying to earn a living, and as long as it doesn't interfere with their PGA playing time or tournaments, I would think that it's perfectly okay to do that. So I was kind of shocked. I did hear that also. It's kind of shocking to me that the PGA would take such a harsh stance.
Listen, it sounds like, Neil, if you represent Phil Mickelson, I mean, let's go, baby. That's a big goddamn paycheck. I'm just saying, Phil Mickelson, if you're watching, Neil Unger, attorney at law, for crying out loud. He's the best in the Garden State.
I would fight for Phil.
You fight for Phil.
Free enterprise, baby. I mean, you know, if it doesn't interfere with the PGA and the tournaments are at different times, who cares?
Agreed. I agree with you. You know what? That's a good point, because I wasn't sure. By the way, Tiger Woods actually became a billionaire, not through golf, just through golf, obviously through the endorsements. He just became a billionaire just recently. Only the third athlete to become a billionaire. I'm putting Neil Unger on the spot. Can you name the other two athletes? There's only 3 athletes on the planet who are billionaires. Tiger's one of them.
Let me guess, Michael Jordan?
And?
Okay. The other one would be tough. I don't know if it's a basketball player.
It was just in the news, Neil. It was a basketball player.
It might be. It might be a basketball player.
Oh, my God.
It might be. Come on. You got Jordan. Let's go. I want you to get them both. It might be a basketball player.
They both made the same movie.
They made the same movie, Neil. They both battled little cartoons in the movie. They were both playing basketball against cartoons in the movie. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny. He goes like his last name. He goes
Space
by
Jam?
King. Yeah. He was in Space Jam too. This guy, King James.
Betrayed an entire city.
King James.
LeBron is a billionaire?
LeBron James, Neil Unger.
Look at that.
And that is why he's the attorney at law,
Holy
the
cow.
number 1 lawyer in the state of New Jersey, because it was unbelievable.
He gave me a hint.
Michael Jordan and LeBron James Yes, and Tiger, the only 3 athletes who are certified billionaires. How about that for you?
Dave,
I'm actually a little bit surprised that Magic isn't on that list, actually, because he's had tremendous like entrepreneurial success. He has a chain of like movie theaters in California, which apparently make him like, tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm a little surprised Magic's not there. Robert, what were you going to say?
I just had a question. Who was the number 1 player in the world that the LIV Tour signed?
Former number 1 was Dustin Johnson.
Do you think he's circumcised? Because if not, he's going to get some Dustin is Johnson playing over in Saudi Arabia.
That pop Neil. Neil love that shit.
I love the Neil pop.
Did you, Robert, I was on Twitter, and Neil, you got to see this, and I'm sorry. I never yell at children. I am a father. I'm a happy dad, and I don't like to yell at kids, okay? I don't like to make fun of kids. I like to mock kids.
I think before the show you yelled at me and called me a child, though. I'm not sure if that counts.
That does not count. That's more of an insult to you. You are an adult. Here is my point. Actually, you know what? I'm taking myself off the hook. I wasn't mocking the kid as much as I was mocking People. People magazine and their Twitter account posted a video where they showed a kid and they said, look at this kid. He's a baseball star and he was hitting off the tee at the age of 2. Meanwhile, I saw a kid hitting the goddamn tee with the bat every other swing, which says to me, he can't hit the ball. He's hitting the tee. You're not supposed to hit the tee. You know how I know? Due to me, when I was a kid, I read in Sports Illustrated that Don Mattingly hits off the tee every single day for 2 hours. So that's all I did was hit off the tee. And I never hit the tee. I hit the hell out of the ball. The tee didn't move, motherfucker. The tee stood right there. The tee didn't even shake. Robert, you got this video of this little brat?
I believe I do. Let's take a look.
Watch this, Neil. Look at the tee.
He hit
Miss. Look at the tee. Under. Look at that. He's killing to the tee. That one was a good hit.
He's
That's
not even.
a good hit.
He's
That's
not squaring
so
up to the
bad.
plate, Dave.
Oh, he's on top of that. Ground out to second. That's pretty decent. Oh my God. That's strike 3. Strike 4. Look at these. Oh God, that's awful. Tees shaking him. That was okay. Ground ball. Weekly the pitcher. Another grounder to second base. And guys pop up to the shortstop. Another pop up to the shortstop. Nothing. Oh God. Popped him up to second base and a ground ball at first. All right, get this kid off the goddamn fucking screen. I can't watch this little brat fail. So I'm saying that I'm not trying to be mean against the kid. I'm being mean against People Magazine for not knowing sports. It's the same issue I have with a lot of Sports Center anchors, and they use these little buzzwords and these little phrases just to get their fucking phrase over, but it doesn't even match the highlight. I see like Linda Cohen the other day was talking about a home run, and she's like, look at this blast, this epic bomb, this blast. And the home run went like 1 row into the outfield. Okay. That was the home run Linda Cohen was calling on SportsCenter.
What would the Sports Center commentators do, like on this kind of highlight?
You don't say a home run is a blast or a bomb or it's this epic bomb when it goes 1-2 rows deep. It's a home run. It's a legitimate home run. But he said, he gets into this one and home run. And just got enough of that one. But that was enough to get over the wall. You don't present it like it's a 4. Why is this kid still on the screen? The kid's done. We're not done with you.
I was trying to get you to commentate on him, kind of like the ESPN commentators. That's what I was trying to set you up for there, Dave. When I was like, what would the ESPN commentators
Okay,
sound?
all right.
My bad.
I didn't know.
Boy, we need Roy back.
Neil, no, you're doing just fine, Robert. Neil, you see my point?
Yep.
No, but I mean, don't tell me something. Okay, I guess what my problem is that it's an issue with ESPN that there's always style over substance with that network, and they have too many people, either former comedians or whatever the shit they're trying to do, and they're not talking sports. They're not presenting sports in an honest fashion.
Right, they're getting their journalistic style, their personal journalistic style.
Yeah,
That's all they care about, because a home run into the first row of seats, it's not a bomb.
It's not a bomb.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it's not a bomb. Like, get the lingo correct. It's not a bomb. No home run in the first or second or third row, for that matter, is a bomb. You can't do that. Don't say it. It upsets me. I get very angry, Neil. In fact, I need to ask you some questions. You know, you're the lawyer, but maybe it's time you were put under interrogation.
On the hot seat.
You're on the hot seat now. You see, interrogation, Neil, is for people who've been very, very naughty or very, very good.
Those can be one and the same.
In your case, it is the same. So it works like this, Neil. Honest answers only. Please state your name, your occupation, and if you've ever worn pink underwear.
Neil M. Unger, lawyer, no.
Have you ever
no
got...
wasn't as convincing as it should have been, was it?
Neil, have you ever gotten a murderer acquitted?
No. I don't handle those cases, no.
Robert, that means don't call Neil for your case because, you know, that guy you killed.
That's Robert. If you kill somebody, I can give you a referral.
Oh, that's Robert. Call Neil after the show for the referral.
Good, because I wouldn't want to tell you what I'd have to do if you wouldn't.
Oh, God. Neil!
I like the flames.
Neil, have you ever shit in the pool? Either your pool or someone else's pool?
I've never swam in a pool.
You can't swim?
Are you making fun of me?
Okay, Neil. This next line of interrogation needs a thinking cap. What's a movie or a scene from a movie or a TV show that you laughed at in an inappropriate manner? In other words, it wasn't supposed to necessarily be funny, but Neil Unger got a big kick out of it. Has that ever happened to you before?
It has, but you're kind of putting me on the spot, Dave. It's hard to think of
That's
specific
right.
movie or TV show. I'm sure I have laughed at things that I shouldn't have.
Okay, we're just going to chalk it up to that was very inappropriate then. That was very inappropriate of you laughing that one time.
That was.
Neil?
It was more than once.
I don't want to bring up, wasn't Schindler's List, was it?
No.
Okay, good. No, I wanted to make sure. Neil, very serious question. Would you rather make out with a frog or a chicken? You have to make out with one of them or they're going to throw you off the Empire State Building. So, you have your choice. You make out with a frog or a chicken. What's Neil picking?
The skydive. Neither.
See, I make out with a chicken. I would think that a chicken tastes good, but maybe that's just because I like the taste of chicken. I would have no problems making out with a chicken, licking them up
French.
and down.
You're not French then.
Neil, everyone
like
knows
frogs.
you're the number one lawyer in the state of New Jersey, attorney at law, Neil Unger. But the question is, have you ever farted in court?
Well, I would say no.
Oh! Well, that's pretty good. Right, Robert?
Yeah, Dave. I find that hard to believe, though. Don't you spend like 8 hours a day in court sometimes?
No, it's in Zoom in my office, so I guess technically, okay, I have to cop to it. It's in. I'm in front of a computer. Nobody's here, so.
Ew.
That was
Neil,
me, Dave.
Neil, what is the most? Who is the most attractive superhero of all time?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Black Widow.
I don't even know who that is. I must.
Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so.
Okay. Neil, very difficult question right here. If you had to, what would you rather do? Again, the Empire State Building scenario, you're going to be thrown off. You have to do one of these two things. Either have gerbils put in your butt or red ants, the poison kind, poured down your mouth. One of them is getting poured somewhere.
No habit trail.
No. You have to.
I'll take the jump.
He's jumping again, Robert. Neil Unger is committing suicide left and right.
Nobody let Neil around an airplane.
Or gerbils.
And finally, Neil. God, is there one?
Oh God, that is a tough question.
You're damn right it is. It's
And I just said, "Oh God," as if I believe in him.
You're
But there is one.
Wow. And that is interrogation with attorney at law Neil Unger. He's been interrogated. Neil, that was pretty controversial.
That was.
I mean, for me, I'll do a gerbil, I guess. Rather than jump off the Empire State Building. And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'd make out with the chicken for free. If someone's like, Davey Mack, I got a chicken. Can I, give you the chicken? You make out with it. And I take the video and put it on Instagram. Absolutely. Give me the chicken. I'll make out with that. Oh my God. It'll be the sexiest makeout session you've ever seen. Robert?
I was just confused by that question, Dave, because what is the difference between a chicken and a toad? I thought they were both French people you were referring to.
I was talking about a legitimate chicken. See, I think that frogs, toads, slimy. And then there's always that wart issue.
It's
you start
so hard
making
to
out with
choke a frog too.
Yeah, exactly. It's way easier to choke a chicken and way more pleasurable.
But a chicken will peck your lips.
God bless you. Neil, you know how nice you are? Are you watching the NBA Finals? Do you watch, if one of your teams is eliminated, do you stick with the sports? I watch the sports because I'm obsessed. So I'm watching the NBA Finals, and Celtics Warriors play on Monday night. Series tied 2 games apiece. Game 5 in Golden State.
I'll definitely be watching that.
You're going to be watching that? I'm going to be watching that 100%.
Warriors, come out to play.
Beautiful. Look at Robert with all the sound effects, Neil. Did you ever know that our show had so many drops?
No.
I actually made all these before the show, Dave.
I'm enjoying
I don't know if you knew that I'm a voice actor now.
Robert, anything in Robert's world that he'd like to discuss?
Did you hear about what the Angels players did, or what the management of the Angels did to break their losing streak?
No.
I thought this was one of the funniest stories coming out of baseball. And it's basically Angels players use Nickelback for walk-up songs in an effort to break their losing streak.
So they're implying that Nickelback sucks so much that kind of puts them at ease. It puts like a smile on their face because Nickelback is such a shitty band.
Instead of the Angels' usual walk-up songs, the team unanimously used Nickelback before their at-bats during Wednesday's game against the Boston Red Sox in an effort to break their losing streak.
Baseball's the best. It's stories like this that I sometimes say, you know what? Baseball does have the most character of any sport. You would never be able to do this kind of weird-ass shit. But it happens regularly in baseball. The weirdest stories emerge from this sport. What else were they saying?
We have a little clip. You want to hear it?
Yeah. I mean, I know what Nickelback sounds. Actually, forget it, Robert. I know what Nickelback sounds like. I can imagine them walking up to Nickelback. So that's very funny, though, to me. It's like, so I'm assuming that they're basically insinuating that Nickelback is just absolute shite. And they're so shitty that the players will kind of relax and laugh a little bit at the fucking awful band that they're walking. So they are shitting on Nickelback.
A little bit.
I mean,
yeah.
do you think so?
I think they had to do it as a way to be like, we're so bad, we're adopting it and turning it into our image. Kind of like, in Major League, where the team came together and was like, I guess it's time we have to win the whole goddamn thing. I think that's the point they're at. They're like, this is our moment. Or in the Replacements, where they all dance and sing along to I Will Survive. I think.
Well, they fired and they fired their manager too, Joe Madden, but he actually is a World Series champion. Well, Girardi is. He won a championship
Dave,
with
I
the
think
Cubs.
he died, didn't he?
No.
They're putting him on the cover of his video game this year as a tribute.
That's John Madden, you son of a bitch.
I always get him confused.
Joe Madden, Neil. He won the championship with the Cubs in 2016.
Just like the Belushi brothers, the wrong one's dead.
Oh my God, how dare you. Jim Belushi, you're saying that he should be oh wait, no, you're that was a comment. All right, good for you. Good.
Thanks, Dave.
It took me a second. I thought you were insinuating that John Belushi, it was good that he's dead and Jim is alive. But no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
Do you think the Warriors are going to win this? Who do you like?
I'm pulling for the Warriors.
Why do you?
I am. I'm pulling for the Warriors because of this thing. And don't give me the hate, Boston Celtics fans. You're going to hear why. The Celtics and the Lakers are tied with 17 championships each. And I'm kind of hoping that if one of the teams breaks that it's in an NBA Finals where they're matched up against each other. I'd love to see both Lakers and Celtics tied at 17 championships, and one of them will get to 18. So because of that, I'm sort of against the Celtics with this one. I'm very impressed with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. Al Horford's had an incredible play. I mean, listen, the Boston Celtics have had a tremendous run here. But I'm sort of hoping that maybe LeBron and the Lakers get their shit together and they get back to the finals. We get Celtics-Lakers. Meanwhile, I do like the fact that Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson are all playing back together. And I do want them to win a championship. And I kind of want them to win a championship without Durant. I know they won their first one without Durant, but then the second and third championships came with Durant. I sort of want them to get another championship without Durant. It'll be good for their entire legacy.
I couldn't agree with you more. Do you think Al Horford has to win this for his legacy?
Al Horford? No, Al Horford doesn't have a fucking legacy. I think that who maybe has a legacy on the line is Jason Tatum, but he's super young.
Yeah, I feel like he's got time to recover.
Exactly.
I feel like if Horford doesn't get an NBA championship, he doesn't really reach that elite status. You know what I mean?
He's not elite. He's Al Horford. He's a good player. He's a one-time All-Star. But we're not talking about Al Horford like we were talking about, Barkley and Stockton and Malone and Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing and those guys who kept getting rings deprived because of Michael Jordan. Those guys were all on the Dream Team or Dream Team 2.
No, I couldn't agree with you more.
I mean, Al Horford's not in this level is what I'm saying.
I would say Horford's kind of an inverse of a Robert Ory.
No way. Robert Ory, wait. Robert Ory hit some of the biggest shots in NBA history.
Big shot, Bob.
And Robert Ory has 7 championships.
That's my point. If Horford had 7 championships, this would be a different conversation.
Yes, it would. It would be different because they would be different players. Robert Ory, to me, Robert Ory's a Hall of Famer. 2 championships with the Rockets. What was it? 3 with the Lakers and 2 with the Spurs? My God. Anyhow.
Talk about the right place, right time. I feel you, Dave.
Neil, we're going to go. But is there anything else for you that we can, that you'd like to talk about at all? Any concerns you have? Do you fear for your life? Are you fearing for your life right now?
No, I'm fearing for the Boston Celtics, but not my life.
Okay, good. I want Neil Unger to always be. I'm watching this Watergate series, and it's pretty goddamn interesting. John Dean, Nixon's lawyer, who was the one who brought up all these scandals, but he's talking about it in that, he got multiple messages of people saying to John Dean, who's just a lawyer, we're going to make you disappear. Like we're going to make your entire family disappear. And that got me thinking, I hope Neil's okay. Did you have anything to do with Watergate, by the way?
No, I'm not that old.
All right, good. then
I was young back then. I was a kid.
Then I am glad. And you're promising no death threats.
I was probably back then. I was in my early to mid 20s when that happened.
No way.
In the 70s, actually, yeah, I was 21 in 75. So when was that? Yeah, so that was about.
You were born in 1954.
54. Yeah.
And that means you are 68?
I'll be 68 in a few weeks.
Neil, you look fantastic. I am shocked you're
Thank
telling
you.
me that. I thought you were going to tell me
you.
you're
I feel
51.
I was guessing
I
late
feel
40s
great.
too. Yeah.
I was
Oh, you
guessing
got
38 because
guessing
Robert had to
27.
beat me. I was 22 is what
14,
I was.
Neil, is what I was thinking.
11. Fetus. I was
Damn
guessing
it.
he's a
Damn it.
I was a fetus in 75.
All right, listen. Well, Neil, it was an absolute pleasure. I love talking with you. You always bring a very different vibe because, quite frankly, we have a lot of, with all due respect, we love all our people, but we have a lot of mentally deranged individuals who are usually the guests on this show, and not someone who's actually like a scholar, a lawyer, and this and that. So it's a fun mix. It's a fun little thing. Robert, I thought you did a beautiful job filling in for Roy Harder. Absolutely. And Roy Harder will be back next Tuesday. And I want to thank everyone for listening to Davey Max Sports Program, man. We're doing
New Jersey peeps. This Thursday, I'm at the Dunellen Theater with Aaron Berg, Clint Esposito, Vic Cedino, and a bunch of other funny comics. So if you're in the area, come check it out. It's guaranteed to be a good time.
Where is the venue?
The Dunellen Theater?
Okay. What city or town is that?
Let's find out.
Denellen.
Oh, is there a town in Dunellen, Neil? Well,
Yeah,
Neil,
that's a town. Denellen is a town in Middlesex County, New Jersey.
there it is. So, Neil, yes,
A
of
little
course.
town.
Yeah,
Mr.
you
Neil.
know, Dave, the 08812 zip code.
Yeah, okay, I know. It's Dunellen. Neil Unger, the attorney at law, the best lawyer in the state of New Jersey. He's going to have all your Jersey info, Robert. All right, so go see Robert on Thursday, please. And I want to thank everyone for subscribing and enjoying the show. We're on iTunes these days, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, EastsideDaveCountry.com, YouTube, Eastside Dave TV, and so many more. We're basically wherever you can get a podcast. Make sure you're subscribing and liking and supporting, and we appreciate you. Neil, thank you so much. You're the man.
Thank you, David.
And Robert, you the man.
You're the man,
And
Dave.
Take care,
we
Rob.
will be back next week with Roy Harder. Until then, good night, everybody.